You know you've made a hit web show when you've made this many enemies. Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 iCarly villains.
I wanted tuna fish!
For this list, we're taking a look at some of the funniest, most diabolical, and most memorable enemies ever to go toe-to-toe with the iCarly trio and their closest friends. If you've never seen these baddies in action, there will be spoilers. Number 10, Missy Robinson. Before she and Sam became an unbreakable duo, Carly's best friend was Missy Robinson before she left Seattle.
Hey, Shay! Missy? I can't believe I'm here! You look so great! So do you!
When Missy returns to town, Sam senses trouble due to a series of accidents befalling her, thanks to Missy, including a horrible case of food poisoning.
Sam, you look horrible.
I've heard.
Did you lick another swing set?
No.
Well, what happened?
Like you don't know.
At first, it looks like Sam's just being jealous and paranoid, but it turns out she was right all along. Missy was trying to get rid of her so she can take Sam's place as Carly's bestie again.
Carly was my best friend first, and I'm taking her back.
I knew it. Curly's too nice and good to see the evil in people, but luckily I'm not so nice and good, and I hope you know your blood type because I think you're gonna need someone. I'm done with you.
She was able to hide her true intentions from everyone else, but Carly eventually figured out her true colors. So Missy eventually got a sickly taste of karma. That's what happens when you try to break up one of our favorite twosomes.
So after school, how about I take you to the mall and buy you a new cell phone?
You don't need to. I stole Missy's.
Number 9, Chip Chambers. Watching poor Spencer get beat up by a child is only funny for so long. He had enough issues with the bratty Chuck terrorizing him. Trust me, we'll get to him later.
All right, you little gremlin. You are in major trouble for this.
But after Chuck was shipped off to military school, Spencer didn't count on having to deal with his malicious little brother, Chip.
Can you hear me, little boy?
Don't you ever call me little boy. You understand me?
Embittered by his brother's departure, Chip proves to be an even bigger terror than Chuck. He doesn't distinguish between Spencer and his loved ones. They're all free game to him as long as the sculptor suffers.
My problem is a tall idiot named Spencer Shay. And now it's Carly's problem too.
Why you gotta drag me into it?
'Cause he messed with my brother, so I'm messing with his sister.
Thankfully, a mishap involving Gibby's toy phaser incapacitates Chip and ends the little monster's reign of terror. And we never see him again after his debut episode.
Hey, Spence. Why don't you peel me off this wall and then you and me will go get us some tacos? Huh?
Let's get out of here.
Number 8, Totally Terry Writers. The Dingo Channel is notorious for their lackluster programming, so the only way they'd stand a chance is if they decided to steal jokes from the iCarly web show. So that's exactly what a group of lazy scriptwriters decide to do: rip off some of the trio's best comedy segments, since, according to them, coming up with their own jokes is too hard.
Anyway, just because we do some things on Totally Terry that are similar to stuff you do on iCarly
Doesn't mean we're stealing.
Then how do you explain these cards on the wall under a sign that says ideas we can steal from iCarly?
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
The worst part is that despite their obvious laziness, there's still a major television studio with legal power protecting them, meaning they can steal whatever they want.
This is the Dingo Channel,
So we have the lawyers, the money, and therefore the power to steal any ideas we want.
and there's nothing you can do about it.
Thankfully, our favorite little trio finds the studio's dirty little secret as an incentive to shut down the writers' plagiarizing scheme once and for all, and humiliate them as a bonus.
Ready, Dingo boys? Set, go!
Number 7, Marty Howard. Aside from Principal Franklin, the only level-headed staff member who actually respects the students, the teachers of Ridgeway High are either really bizarre or ill-tempered and bossy.
You wipe that look off your face.
This isn't a look. It's just my face.
Well, you should get your money back.
Probably one of the worst offenders is Mr. Howard. He hates children, laughter, and his own wife, who thinks he's a loser. Which, let's be fair, he kind of is.
All right, I will be down the hall in the teacher's lounge watching the Geometry Channel. While I am gone, there is to be no talking. I hope you have a terrible time.
While he's mostly just a pitiful grump rather than a major threat, he's quick to dish out unfair punishments to all the students, especially to Gibby and our iCarly trio. And he barely respects Principal Franklin's authority, unless his job is on the line thanks to his own big mouth.
And you can all start with 500 push-ups. I don't care what Principal Franklin has to say about it.
You don't?
No! Oh dear. Principal Franklin.
Number 6. Kyoko and Yuki. In the series' first feature-length movie, the iCarly team gets the huge honor of being nominated for Best Comedy Show in the iWeb Awards in Japan.
When we were checking into our hotel, this French guy,
Who's also a nominee.
kept butting in with his stupid puppet.
And he was all,
Stupid.
this is my puppet.
Look at my beautiful puppet!
Unfortunately, their biggest competition are two local comedians named Kyoko and Yuki.
We love your web show.
Hey, we love yours.
Yeah, it's awesome. Oh, and this is my brother Spencer.
Konnichiwa. O genki desu ka?
はい、ありがとう。はじめまして。
どこで日本語を習いましたか?
I ate soap.
At first, it seems like it might be a friendly contest, but it turns out that Kyoko and Yuki will do anything to win, including abandoning Carly and the gang in the middle of nowhere so they'd lose by default.
I don't think we're getting a gift.
Maybe they're driving somewhere to get it?
No. They did all this on purpose so they could ditch us and then go win the iWeb Award.
So they're definitely not giving us a present?
No!
It's no surprise why this insidious duo would stoop to such levels. Despite their home field advantage, it's hard to compete with iCarly's influence.
The winners of the iWeb Award for Best Web Comedy Show, iCarly!
Unfortunately for the two, their scheme backfires and they end up doing hard time for their sabotaging. Number 5. Francine Briggs. Another one of the meanest teachers at Ridgeway High is the pointy-boobed witch herself, Ms. Briggs.
Like she stuffs waffle cones in her bra.
Totally. I mean, she could poke an eye out with one of those things.
Her daily hobbies include subjecting her students to bagpipe music, screeching for respect through her bullhorn, and obsessing over Randy Jackson. She's got a whole shrine dedicated to him.
Well, good afternoon, Randy Jackson. Oh, you are looking spiffy today. Now, is there something you'd like to say to me?
Yeah, we got us a hot one tonight, baby!
Oh, RJ.
She has a particular dislike for the iCarly trio, especially Sam, and has no qualms slapping them or their families with unfair punishments.
Now, get out before I give you detention.
I'm 26. You can't give me detention.
Then I give you detention. 1 week.
What?
You don't scare him.
Yes, she does!
Get out!
No!
2 weeks detention.
Dude!
Ironically, Ms. Briggs was the one that inspired iCarly when she forced Carly and Sam to film auditions for the school talent show and then denied their input. In a weird way, the internet owes a lot to Ms. Briggs, but she's still the worst English teacher of all time.
Hello, Ridgeway! I am Briggs!
Number 4. Chuck Chambers. If there's one thing that terrifies Spencer to no end, it's the pint-sized terror known as Chuck. This little brat is extremely temperamental and underhanded, especially when he doesn't get his way.
Hey! Kid! Seriously, you can't do that in here. Take it outside, okay?
Make me!
Hey!
Unfortunately, when Spencer crossed him, he crossed the wrong little boy, as Chuck will go out of his way to terrorize Spencer in every way imaginable, usually violently.
I know what you are. You may have Carly fooled, but I know exactly what you...
Thankfully, his dad is usually around to ground him for his bad behavior, though this mostly just adds more fuel to Chuck's wrath, putting Spencer in even greater danger. While we don't see Chuck on screen after season 3, it's mentioned later on that he was finally shipped off to military school, leaving Spencer safe from this teenage terror once and for all.
I got rid of him. Oh yeah, he gone. He gone. What? He gone? Huh? He's gone. Yeah.
Number 3. Louis Lubert Sline. Sitting in the lobby of Carly and Freddie's apartment building is arguably the worst doorman in existence, Lubert. He's obnoxiously rude to everyone, especially children, and the only thing nastier than his attitude is the disgusting wart growing on his face.
Zoom in on it, Freddie.
Digital zoom?
There it is, living happily right on Lubert's face. I call that wart Little Lubert.
Fortunately, Karma usually catches up to Lubert in the most painful ways, often thanks to one of iCarly's most popular segments, Messin' with Lubert.
Muffins? Well, don't mind if I do.
And now, time for a confetti surprise!
Hit it!
To be honest though, Lubert lives kind of a tragic life. He was once a young male model and was slightly less miserable, but then his wart grew due to stress and he's constantly in the crossfire of iCarly shenanigans.
I want my giant root beer!
It doesn't excuse why he's such a jerk, but it does explain it a bit.
No! You're gonna help me pick up everything left!
Number 2, Nora Derschlet. At first, Nora just seemed like an awkward, lonely girl with no friends and a pet chicken. However, when the trio takes pity on her and pays her a visit for her birthday, we see her true obsessive colors come out.
What do you mean you can't let us leave?
I mean that tonight was the first time in my life I was ever popular. You're angels that were sent to me to change my life. I can't let my angels fly away.
She's so desperate for companionship that she'll hold her beloved iCarly's hostage and forcibly kiss poor Freddie against his will.
Come on, slide him around! It's so romantic!
Thankfully, she was detained after an epic showdown with Gibby, only to be released from jail later and then break out again in Sam and Cat, even more dangerously psychotic.
Sweet revenge is lots of fun. I'm gonna make you pay. Yay. Yay for days.
It just goes to show that you should be careful when dealing with fans. They could end up being Annie Wilkes incarnate.
Hey, what's happening? I'm rotating! Ah!
Before we unveil our number 1 evil nub, here are some honorable mentions.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I scare you guys?
Yeah, kinda.
How'd you get in here?
Freddie, I'd like you to meet my friends, Dimitri and Ivan.
Oh, no you don't.
If you haven't noticed, they're large and powerful.
You guys can't just walk in here and force us to shut down our business.
So you want things to get ugly?
Things got ugly when you walked in the room.
You've been warned.
I've known this goofy little punk since junior high.
Yeah, look, just don't go busting my chops. All right, I don't like that.
Oh, you guys hear this attitude? I'm just trying to be friendly.
Kiss me.
What?
Sam doesn't have to know.
Ow! Did you just thump me?
How dare you try to kiss me when you're dating Sam? You're icky.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Neville Amadeus Papperman. When we first met Neville, he was just an arrogant internet critic with a crush on Carly.
Carly Shay, live and in person. It is so exciting to meet you. I'm Neville Papperman.
However, after she got on his bad side, he vowed that she would rue the day she crossed him and became the trio's most persistent nemesis to date.
Neville?
Hello, Carly. Sam, Freddie.
You're the one messing up our webcast?
That's right. I've hacked your website. I told you I'd get revenge.
What Neville lacks in bronze, he more than makes up for with brains. He's cunning, resourceful, influential, and is obsessed with undercutting and terminating his most hated enemies.
That's right, Carly Shay. I've won the car, and you have to give it to me. Isn't this delicious? Oh, I just feel like spinning in a celebratory fashion.
Even when he's outsmarted by Carly, Neville's devious nature and perseverance ensure that he will make a comeback to torture the trio in any way possible. And his surprise appearance in the Sam and Cat spin-off only cements him as the Hannibal Lecter of iCarly.
Neville, tell me where you are.
Oh, I'm afraid I can't do that, Sam. You see, I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Ms. Mojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.